All right, let's just jump right in. The world of technology, as you know, is moving at an absolutely incredible pace. It feels like there's a new game-changing innovation popping up every single day. So if you're looking to stay ahead of the curve, you're in the right place. We're about to break down the top technologies that aren't just on the horizon, they're here, and they're creating a tidal wave of career opportunities. And just to give you a sense of the sheer scale we're talking about, get this. By 2025, experts predict there will be 75 billion Internet of Things devices out there in the world. Now, that's not just some random giant number. It's a huge signal that our world is becoming more connected every second, and that creates an absolutely massive demand for people who know how to manage it all. And then you've got AI. The market for artificial intelligence is on track to hit a staggering $190 billion, also by 2025. Again, this isn't just about money. This represents a total earthquake in the tech landscape, blowing the doors wide open for countless high-impact and, high-paying jobs.
So you see all this insane growth, and the biggest question is pretty obvious, right? Where do you fit into all of this? And the best part is, you don't have to be some kind of super genius to get it on the action. Seriously. With the right skills, anyone can jump into these future-proofed roles and really build something amazing.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll start with the tech boom itself, then look at the digital foundation, how we're securing it, and then we'll get into the cool stuff like new realities and, of course, the AI revolution. And then we'll wrap up by talking about what it all means for you. All right, section 1. Let's start with the absolute essentials. These are the technologies that are basically the backbone of our digital world. They're the foundation that everything else we're going to talk about is built on. Kicking us off at number 10 is DevOps. So what is it? It's really all about breaking down the old walls between the people who write the code and the people who keep it running so you can get new features out faster and more reliably. I mean, think about it. When your favorite e-commerce site gets slammed on Black Friday, it's the DevOps pros who make sure it doesn't crash. That's a mission-critical skill, and that's why they can pull in salaries up to $200,000 a year.
Next up, number 8, data engineering. You've probably heard the saying, data is the new oil. Well, if that's true, then data engineers are the folks who build the entire refinery. They design and build these massive pipelines that collect, clean, and organize raw data so it can actually be used. You know how a smart city can manage its traffic grid in real time? Yeah, that's data engineering at work. It's a fundamental, super valuable role.
And rounding out our foundation, and number 5 is a big one, cloud computing. This is all about companies ditching their own clunky servers and instead accessing everything they need, storage, software, you name it, over the internet. Cloud experts are the ones who manage these huge, secure migrations, helping companies save millions and become way more flexible. When you have that kind of direct impact on the bottom line, you can bet those jobs are going to be in high demand. Okay, on to our next section. With all of our lives moving online, things like security and trust are, well, they're everything. This next batch of technologies is all about keeping our digital world safe and sound. First up at number 6 is blockchain. Now, when you hear that word, your mind probably jumps straight to cryptocurrency, right? But it's so much bigger than that. At its heart, blockchain is just a super secure, transparent way to record information that's basically impossible to tamper with. For example, a drug company could use it to track a shipment from the factory all the way to the pharmacy, making sure it's the real deal. That kind of trust is priceless, and it's why blockchain developers are so sought after. And of course, at number 4, we have to talk about cybersecurity. I mean, the more of our lives we put online, the more targets there are for bad actors. And the stakes are getting incredibly high. This isn't just about protecting passwords anymore. It's about protecting people. Think about the experts who make sure a hospital's patient monitors can't be hacked. They are literally saving lives. That's a job with huge responsibility and, as you can see, great rewards. All right, now for the stuff that feels like it's straight out of science fiction but is actually happening right now. This next group of technologies is completely changing the way we see and interact with the world around us. It's pretty wild. Coming in at number 9, we have augmented and virtual reality, AR and VR. So the easy way to remember it is AR adds stuff to your real world, while VR creates a whole new one you can step into. And this has moved way, way beyond just video games. We're talking about doctors practicing a complicated surgery in a totally risk-free virtual world, or an architect walking through a building before a single brick has been laid. This tech is a game changer for training and design. Now for something that'll really bake your noodle, number 7, quantum computing. By using these super weird but powerful rules of quantum mechanics, these computers can solve problems that would take today's best supercomputers thousands of years to crack. This is poised to completely revolutionize things like medicine and materials science, letting us discover new life-saving drugs in a fraction of the time. This is the bleeding edge of technology, and the salaries definitely reflect that.
And that brings us to our final and, let's be honest, most dominant theme: the AI revolution. This is all about the rise of intelligent machines, and it's the driving force behind the most powerful technologies on our list. Kicking off our top 3 is the one that's taken the world by storm: generative AI. This is the AI that can create new things. It can write an email, generate an image, write code, even compose music. It's less of a tool and more of a creative partner. A film studio could use it to brainstorm storyboards, or a developer can use it as a co-pilot to write code faster. Knowing how to work with this tech is going to be an absolutely essential skill. At number 2, we have data science. If data engineers build the oil refinery, data scientists are the ones who turn that refined oil into rocket fuel. They dive into all that organized data and use things like statistics and machine learning to find hidden patterns and predict what's going to happen next. They're the ones who can look at farming data and figure out how to grow more food, or look at sales data and tell a company what to build next. They turn numbers into strategy. And finally, at the top of our list, the big one: artificial intelligence itself. This is the whole shebang, the huge overarching field of building machines that can think, learn, and make decisions like humans. It's the engine that powers both data science and generative AI, and it's behind so much more, from self-driving cars to the AI tools that help doctors diagnose diseases earlier. AI is everywhere, and working in this field means you're building the future, plain and simple. So, how do all these AI fields actually fit together? Well, this chart gives you a pretty good idea. Think of it like an ecosystem. AI is the broad environment. The goal is human-like intelligence. Inside that, data science is all about finding insights, and generative AI is all about creating new content. They each have their own focus, but they're all part of the same powerful revolution. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of the 10 technologies that are truly defining our future. Now let's pull it all together and focus on the most important part. What does all this mean for you? Look, here's the absolute bottom line. Specific programming languages, certain software tools, those things will always come and go. They'll evolve. The real secret to having a long, successful career in tech is just a commitment to always be learning. It's about understanding the big ideas behind these changes so you can adapt to whatever comes next. And I want to leave you with this idea, which I think is just so powerful. If you start digging into these fields now, today, you won't just be playing catch-up in a few years. By 2025, you could be one of the people actually leading the charge, right at the forefront of it all. The future is without a doubt digital. That's not up for debate. The opportunities are absolutely massive, and now you have a roadmap to what they are. So the only question that's really left to ask is, are you ready?